For this story to fully make sense, two things that you're going to have to understand. First one, I'm a middle schooler. All right. Second one, I'm gay. I know, shocking. I never would have guessed. So, you know, being new to this whole being a middle schooler thing, I sort of was going in with the expectation of, oh, this is 2023. I am allowed to be different than other people and exist in a school without that being an issue. Right? If only. So I begin to realize this issue steadily over the course of the past year-ish that I've been at this school. And I'm talking to some of my friends, and it seems like we're all kind of seeing the same issues. And it's like, maybe, like, this isn't good. No. Like, maybe we can do something about this. And if there's one thing that you should know about me, it is that I am really bad at shutting up. And sometimes that works well for me, and sometimes it doesn't. This is a situation where it works well for me. So, I talk to my parents. My parents say, well, here's a list of things you can do about this. And I see, start a GSA. And I'm like, okay, what's a GSA? And I do some research into that. A GSA is a gender and sexuality alliance. It is a thing that can be started within a school. Eventually, I'm like, okay. I talk to some of my friends, and they're like, okay, cool. And it's like, I have a meeting with my principal. Then I have a meeting with my vice principal. And then I have a meeting with my guidance counselor. And, like, nothing happens. And they're like, okay, you have to find a teacher who will agree to, like, supervise this, because, I mean, valid concern that you cannot just have a bunch of middle schoolers running around unsupervised. I agree that would end poorly. So now we have to find a teacher. And I'm going to fast forward past the boring part of this, where finding a teacher takes months. And eventually, we've got our teacher, and it's the art teacher. Again, I know, shocking. So we have acquired our art teacher, and we're like, okay, y'all said we could do this if we got a teacher. We got a teacher. Can we do this now? If only. So then 4 meetings with administration and the principal and literally everybody. I wasn't involved in this. This was just like my art teacher trying to figure stuff out. 4 meetings later, they say, you can have your GSA. Yay! And then so they schedule the first meeting. Oopsie, it's canceled. So, you know, if only it could be that easy. So we wait for the next week. And it's not canceled. We get our first meeting. It goes as well as a meeting full of 13 and 14-year-olds can go. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this. And we decide, okay, we're going to start creating these resources for students, and we're going to make these posters and do these announcements. Yeah, if only. So now, currently, this is where we are now. The story is like kind of still taking place. We're at a point where they're having to proofread, and I'm having to have I'm having to have a meeting with multiple adults in order to get a poster hung up in the hallways. Which is just, I definitely feel the pain of my parents now. I understand when they complain, oh my God, I had so many meetings today. It's like, they just keep pulling me into the principal's office. And then I'm like the only child there, and it's just like grown-ups who I'm expected to talk to. And that's scary. So that's kind of where we are now. The justification that I've gotten for this is like to protect the other side, to make sure we're not attacking them. Like, oh yeah, I'm very sorry. I'm being mean to you because you called me a slur. Very rude of me. But despite my frustrations, we have gotten somewhere, and we are getting somewhere. So, even though there were a lot of if-onlys along the way, in the end, I think despite the setbacks, we're better off than we started.